Hello, everybody. We're back in my kitchen for another Meal Prep Monday. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend and cooked up a storm, tried some new things. So today, I don't know if you got my joke, but it's called Better Than Your Oumas. So we are making rusks. Hopefully they will be better than your Ouma's rusks, but then also better than the Ouma South African rusk, because I was looking them up just now and they're about 1.5 starches and a fat in one little rusk. So I've tried to make these a bit healthier. I wouldn't say they're Jeff approved, but you can get away with having 1 or 2 of them with a cup of coffee as your snack. So swipe in, let me know who's here, how your weekend was, what you thought of the Jeff games, how many calories you burnt, and what meal you ate afterwards to replenish all your energy. So I have played with these a little bit over the weekend. I think there's still some room for improvement, but we'll start with these as they are, and then I'll tweak them and make adjustments until we get a perfect Jeff-approved rusk. And I haven't used any sugar to sweeten them. I've used apple puree and some dates and a bit of honey. If you wanted to use some sugar, you could. If you wanted to use sweetener, you could also do that. But I tried to stay away from all of that stuff and just keep it as natural as possible. So they're quite chewy, but the longer you dry them out, the crunchier they'll be. So I think they could almost be like a biscotti if you dried them out properly. So who we got? Christina, Caitlin, Karen, Pat. Hello, everybody. Hello, Lisa. Thanks, guys, for joining us. I'm sure everyone's been asking for a Jeff rusk for a long time. And so finally we've got one, and hopefully it'll do the trick for you guys. And especially for the winter coming up, it's nice to have some tea or coffee with a little bit of a nibble. And yeah, this will be a starchy snack for you to have, and then you could supplement it with something else if you still need it to fill the gap. Hello, Ivor. How did you guys do this weekend at the Jeff Games? Let me know what you thought and how many calories you burnt. Hello, Margs. Nice to see you. Leslie, a good rusk with a great cappuccino. Amazing. Yeah, nothing quite like it. And I do love an Ouma rusk, but these are going to be better than an Ouma rusk, I think. So I'll just run through the ingredients really quick, and I don't think this is going to take too long. I have pre-prepared some because they had to bake in the oven, and you guys don't want to sit around watching that happen. So what I got is some oat flour, but it's actually just oats that I blitzed up in the NutriBullet until it's a nice fine flour. So really good high fiber, and then some bran to add some more fiber to the rusks, and then some dried fruit. You can leave it out if you want to lower the starch content even more, but this is also just going to add to the sweetness because I didn't put any sugar in the rusks, and nice chewy bits, because as these bake they'll go super chewy, and I like little bits and pieces in my rusks. If you wanted to put some nuts in, you can also do that, nuts and seeds, but I didn't, just to keep it lower fat. But those will also be good, and they shouldn't change the actual rusk too much. Baking powder. Then for wet ingredients, this is some apple puree. So I literally just chopped up some apples, stewed them, boiled them in a little bit of water, and then some dates that I soaked in boiling water and then blended it all together. So this is what I'm sweetening the rusks with. It gives them quite a dark caramel color as well. A little bit of honey if you need more sweetness, vanilla essence, some yogurt, just plain yogurt, eggs, and then a little bit of coconut oil just to help keep them moist and not too crumbly, the texture. You can use butter if you want to. That's the good stuff in rusks, the butter and the sugar, which we've taken out, but coconut oil is just a little bit of a healthier option. So, shall we get started? Is Marie, Michelle, hello guys. Okay, so basically dry ingredients into a bowl. So that was the oat flour. I'll post the recipe when I'm done. That's the bran, and then the dried fruit. So I've got pear, that I chopped up, but you can use whatever you want, apricots, peaches, and then there's some cranberries and just mixed berries going into there. Okay, and about half a teaspoon of baking powder, just a little bit, and then some salt. Salt's always good in baking, just brings out all the other flavors and balances, always brings out the sweetness actually a little bit. Okay, so let's just mix that a little bit so it's distributed. Hello, Beverly. Okay, I'm making a mess. My oven is preheating at 180 degrees, so you can also get that going while you are preparing all of this. Oh, Candy struggled to find this live session. You could just access it from your Jeff Web app. Okay, now I'm going to just crack the eggs into something separate. You never know what kind of an egg you're going to get, so just to be safe, crack it into something else first, and then I'm going to put it in with my yogurt, and I'll mix all of that together. Okay. You can, I did, when I first did these, round one, I put protein powder in, but it just changed the texture, and I didn't like it. So these aren't going to give you any protein, but if you want to give it a go with some protein powder, you are welcome. Obviously, there's eggs and a bit of yogurt here, but when you split it up over 18 or 20 rusks, it's not going to get you very much protein. Okay, so giving that a little bit of a mix. I suppose we could put our vanilla essence in here as well. Just do about a cupful. Okay. And you could play with spices, maybe cinnamon or ginger could go into your rusks, but I'm just going to keep these plain for now and let the apple and the dates be the hero. Okay, so then we can put these wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. And this just makes a small batch. Oh, 20 rusks, 18 rusks. I know when my mom makes rusks, it makes hundreds of rusks. Then the apple, so about 100 grams of apple puree and 150 grams of dates that I've blended together. All going in. You could probably taste it once you've mixed this at this step, taste it and see how sweet it is for you and whether you want to add the extra honey or add some sweetener or sugar. Okay. See if they're already quite a dark caramel color because of the apples. And the apples went so sweet by simmering them for a while. So you really don't need added sugar and stuff. You just have to be creative with fruits and dried fruit, and you can get lots of sweetness there. Okay, and then the coconut oil. So that's about 20 grams of coconut oil that I just melted, but you can use butter. How's everybody's weekend? It was very nice weather in Cape Town. Not quite rusk weather yet, but it's coming. The mornings are cool. Okay, and then my honey's going to take a while to get to the bottom. The live is not showing on the web app yet. Oh, okay. Hopefully somebody backstage is going to look at that and see what's happening, but hopefully it's there by now. Okay, when my honey gets to the bottom, then about 2 teaspoons or so of honey, but do this to your taste. Should have probably stood it upside down while I was waiting. Oh, Leslie, all weather is rusk weather. I know. There are dangerous things to have in the house. But hopefully these will be so satisfying that after 1 or 2, you'll be able to put them away. Okay, so honey in there. A little bit more of a liquidy batter compared to normal rusk batter, but it still looks good. Okay, then I've got a dish lined with baking paper. I didn't spray this with spray and cook, but you can if you want to. But you just want to be able to get them out quite easily after they first bake. So that's going in. And are you guys all going to tune in on Wednesday for the Jeff Cook? It's going to be so exciting. I don't know if we've announced it yet, but we're going to be cooking at the Western Hotel in Cape Town because it's the anniversary, the 1-year anniversary since the first Jeff Cook. Super exciting. So just doing something different and fun and cooking in a big kitchen, and it's going to be a cook-off, me against Adrian, but we're going to have a team of sous chefs behind us to help us come up with an exciting dish with the ingredients from the box that was chosen. It was the chicken and sesame seed cabbagey box. So lots of cool things there. If you guys have any ideas, give me some ideas and let's see if we can beat Adrian. Oh, see some new comments here. Michelle Rogers. Lisa, would these be a snack or an additional item to the menu? No, you'd be able to use these as a snack. So depending on how many pieces you cut them into, if you can get 20 rusk portions out of this, then you can have 2 as your starch portion during the day. And then if you still need some protein as a snack, then have a boiled egg or some biltong or something. Because I wasn't able to get them to the texture to be nice with the protein powder added to it. Okay, so that is basically it. How easy was that? Those almost rusks are going to go into the oven for half an hour at 180 degrees, and it'll still be super soft. And then when they're done, just pull out the whole piece of baking paper, put it on a cooling rack for about 10 minutes, and cut it up into rusk portions, and then back in the oven, but now at 100 degrees for about 10 minutes. And then you turn the oven off, leave them in there, and as they cool, they're going to get even harder and crispier. But, okay, let me pop these in the oven quick. I did these over the weekend. So there are some Jeff rusks. You can see the little bits of dried fruit, and they've gone nice and golden. So these ones are still quite chewy, but if you dry them out for a little bit longer, then they'll be nice and crispy and ready to dunk. But they're really good. I think some ginger and cinnamon will go really well in those rusks. So the ingredients again. The dry ingredients was some blended oats, or you can buy oat flour, but I just blended it in the NutriBullet till it was super fine. And then some bran. I use this, which is from Checkers. Crushed whole wheat flakes, just some really good fiber, high fiber rusk and a good starchy snack. And then some baking powder and some dried fruit, whatever dried fruit you can get or whatever you enjoy. I used pears and a mixed berry, cranberries and currants and things. And then the wet ingredients, we had eggs, yogurt, some coconut oil and vanilla essence and a bit of honey. And then I sweetened it with apple puree and blended dates. So just soak your dates in some boiling water for 10 minutes before you start, and then blend it with the apples. And then basically mix that all together, pop it in a baking dish, and then 30 minutes at 180 degrees, take it out, leave them to cool a little bit, chop them into rusk pieces, and then back in the oven at 100 degrees to dry out. But I will post the recipe, and then you can all get making some Jeff-approved rusks finally, and enjoy it with your tea and coffee. Danelle, yes, you could definitely put nuts in your rusks, but then it's going to up the fat content. So with this little bit of coconut oil split over all of these rusks, it's kind of negligible. We can ignore it. But if you did put some nuts and seeds in, then it would need to count towards your fat. So just keep that in mind. But that would be really nice, different textures and crunch and amazing healthy fats from the nuts and the seeds. So please, if you give these a go, post some pictures. We want to see how they come out. And I will post these when they come out the oven and let you know how this batch turned out, because this is batch number 3 now after playing around and tweaking some things. But I think we can still improve them. So I'm going to keep working on them, and then we can do a part 2 of different rusks, different fillings, more ingredients and stuff. So Candy, I'm thinking if we're soaking dates, we can soak them in coffee. Yeah, that would be good. A coffee flavored rusk. Very cool. Michelle loves rusks and hadn't had them since she started on the one-on-one. Well, now you've got some rusks to have, and unlike an Ouma, you can have 2 of these in one sitting. So hopefully these are better than an Ouma and better than your Ouma's rusks. But enjoy, everybody, and yeah, remember series workouts coming this Saturday, the Jeff Cook at the Western on Wednesday, and the 25% discount for the one-on-one has been extended till the 5th of May. So if you've got friends and family sitting on the fence, just let them know that that promo is still on offer. Otherwise, have a beautiful Monday. Never skip a Monday to get your workouts in, and post your pictures of your rusks when you've made them. And we'll see you soon. Bye.